Hello YouTube, Lord of Lords here, and welcome to my new series about 3D gaming, programming, and coding. So before we get into the programming and coding part, there's a few things we need to do first. First of all, you must have Google Chrome. The website we're going to use to code requires Google Chrome as its browser. Because Google Chrome is the only browser that supports JavaScript. So, secondly, we need to be able to use JavaScript. So to be able to check that, this URL will be in the description. But if you're following along on like a mobile device while you're on your computer, so you'll just copy what I'm saying. So we'll type in HTTP. Since I already used it before, it's up there. But if you never, the 2 dots / oops, and then get.webgl.org. But it should have already appeared for you. So you just enter on that. And then it might take a while to load. So it says you must enable JavaScript. Even if you have enabled it already, this is pretty much having you checking and etc. etc. So you'll press the 3 bars in the top right corner. You'll go down to where it says Settings, right under Edit and above About Google Chrome. Press it. So and then you'll go into the search settings bar. You can either search 2 things, content settings, which is where it's in, or just JavaScript itself. So I'll just put in JavaScript, and then it says it's in content settings. So you'll just press content settings. Then if you have it enabled, just like press do not allow, press done, and then go back in and allow it, and then press done. So after you're done there, go back onto get.webgl, and if you see a spinning cube, that means it works. So now you can just forget all about those. So this link will be in the description too. So just then type in HTTP //gaming JS, and then it should be there by now. So it'll be js.com/ice, and go on to that. Then all these ads will show up. It's every time you go in, there's ads. So the sphere, we're going to start off by going to where it says start coding on the next line. Press the next line. Then you'll see that as we're typing, there's going to be a few things that show up a lot. So those things will be var, the equal sign, new, and in capital letters, make sure it's capital, 3, and then period right after 3. Those are all important, and I'll tell you why as we do it. So var, so it knows you're opening a new thing. And then shape, this is where you create the shape. Then the equal sign, then new. All the purples mean it's a command. So you'll type in new, and then in capital letters, make sure it's capital letters, 3, then period. Then here, make sure it's capitals. You'll type in sphere, not the entire thing, just the S, and then the G, so there's no space, and then the G in geometry, and then since we're just gonna make it a not that big sign, you'll opening bracket 100, then closing bracket, and then the semicolon. The semicolon is there so it tells the computer that we're done with that command. And then we can work on the next one. So now you're going to type in VAR so it knows it's in the new command that we're working on. Cover. This is so the computer knows what our shape is going to look like on the outside, not what the shape is, not the size or anything. It's just what it's going to look like on the outside. So then equals new. Then as you see, it's purple again. So then you're going to type in 3 dot capital M mesh, capital N normal, then capital M again, material. And then you're just going to do opening bracket, closing bracket, semicolon. So then you're going to, if you press enter, it'll make an entirely new line. So then you'll put in VAR ball equal new capital 3 dot capital M mesh, then opening bracket, then shape, comma, cover, closing bracket, semicolon. And then the next, so now we just have to tell the computer to let us see it, because we have everything made. It's just now we have to let it know that we want to see it. So you'll type in scene dot add opening bracket ball closing bracket semicolon. So as you see, there's a ball. So if you press hide code, you can see that it's not a smooth ball. That's because computers cannot make a ball, just squares put together to make a ball. I don't know why, it's just like that. So one square is called a chunk. So a chunk is used, so one square is a chunk, and you can use the coding to change the size of the chunk whenever you want. So this is what the numbers in the sphere geometry are for. So the 100 is the size. So if I go in there and put in 250, let it load, it changes the side of the sphere itself. It makes it bigger. Bigger the number, bigger the thing. So if I put in 10, let it load, it makes it smaller. Much, much smaller. So that's what the first numbers are for. Oh, sorry, I was farther away from the camera. So I said that's what the first numbers in that are for. So if I'll just put it back to 100. Let it load. And then, so there's two other numbers for the sphere. So after this, so I'll put in them. It'll be 120, then 20, and then before I put in the 15. Oh, let me hide the code. You can see, so 20 increases not the size or anything, but the amount of chunks. Then I'll put in comma, that's what the second number's for, so then comma 15. It increases the amount of chunks from the upper. So there's 15 from up to here. If you count, there's 13. That's because there's 2 that you can't see. It's the very tip. So, and if you want to change the position, you just open a new thing, put in position dot set. Wait, I think I did that wrong. Hold on. Yeah, I did. So it is position.set, but before position, put in ball dot. So it's ball.position.set, and then brackets. If you want, I'm going to put it over near where it says this is what sees the stuff in green, and it's going to be perspective, so it's going to look like it's going in. It's going to be like it looks like it's facing where it says this is where the stuff in our game will happen. The end of that, where the two dots are in the green on line 5. So position set. So I'll put negative 250, comma 250, comma negative 250. See? Looks like it's facing inwards. So that's how you position it, and you can play around, have some fun there. So, and now we're gonna move on to our next shape. The square slash cube. So now we're doing the square slash cube. I'm saying square slash cube because we have to add in. So when we do it, it makes a square, but then we add in one more code and it makes it a cube. So now we're going to get. If you want to keep this, you can. If you just want to keep that there, we'll make another shape right in the middle. But I'm just going to get rid of all of this. So now you're going to type in VAR shape equals new capital 3 dot cube geometry. Remember what I said about capitals. Opening 100, comma 100. Oops, I forgot the 1. 100, comma 100. Closing bracket, semicolon. So now it's opening on the entire cube set. Okay? So now we're gonna type in the cover. So VAR cover equals new I keep forgetting the capitals. 3 dot mesh normal material opening opening bracket, closing bracket, semicolon, next line. Then VAR cube equals new 3 dot capital, I forgot the capital, mesh opening bracket shape, comma cover closing bracket semicolon. So now we just have to put in the command to make us see it. So scene dot add opening bracket cube closing bracket semicolon. So now we got a square. So now I was saying about how we add in one command to make it a cube where we can see it. So here's the command. You put in cube dot rotation dot set. Now we're just gonna turn a bit so we can see all of it. So opening bracket 0.5 comma 0.5 comma 0 closing bracket closing bracket semicolon. Don't know why that's there. So now we can see a cube. Now today we're not going to do like rectangles and stuff because that's in the cube section. If you just fiddle around with it, I'll show you now. it's gonna look like a rectangle, but it's actually a cube. So if you just change it here, 300. There, look, it's just lengthened the cube itself, made it longer, and it turned itself into a rectangle. That's to make it longer. If you would like to make it taller or shorter, you'll change the number in the middle. So if I'm going to make it shorter, actually I'm not going to make it shorter at all. I'm not going to make it shorter at all, so we can see it. So, but if you want to make it less wide going out, so where you would see the blue square, I would change the third number. I'll change it to 20. You see how it's thinner? That's what it does. So as you can see here, it's pretty much a cube. It's all a cube. It's got all four sides, like not all four sides, all six sides, but just different lengths in all the sides. So that's why there's no section for rectangles. So I'll just put this back into a cube. And that's it for cube. So now the next shape is going to be a cylinder. So for the cylinder, again, just get rid of all this stuff, or you just want to move it by doing the position, by typing in cube.position.set and then put it wherever you want. But I'm just gonna get rid of all this. Now, for the cylinder, you'll type in var shape equal new capital 3 dot capital C cylinder capital G geometry opening bracket. Let's try 20, 20, 100. This way you guys can be able to see it. Then semicolon. And then VAR cover equal new capital 3 dot mesh normal material opening bracket closing bracket semicolon oops, that was still holding shift, semicolon, then next line VAR, here you put in tube equal new capital 3 dot mesh opening bracket shape comma cover closing bracket. It'll show the closing bracket there, but unless you make it, like you make it on the buttons, like you type it in or you press it, it'll just disappear. So then semicolon. So now it's there. Now we just need to see it. So you'll put in scene dot add opening bracket tube closing bracket semicolon, and now there you can see it. So now I think I'll change it up so we can see all the sides. So we're just gonna fiddle around with the numbers. So let's try 100 20 20 wow 100 20 20. Oh, and that didn't work. So let's try. Oh, what was I thinking? It was back to what it was. It was still 20 20 100. But for this, if you wanna, for coding, if you wanna make it three-dimensional so we can see it, you must put in rotation dot set rotation dot so I'm so sorry. So tube dot rotation dot set then opening bracket, then put all, just put in the same numbers as before, 0.5, comma, 0.5, comma, 0, closing bracket, semicolon. So now you can see all of it. So that's cylinder. So I think I'll stop here for now. So if you have any questions, comments, or queries, just put that in the comments, and all the links will be in the description below. So hit that like button and subscribe. Lord of Lords signing out.